What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to TD Fans Talk, guys. We got a lot to talk about today. I'm gonna try to make it short and sweet, but some things that have come to my attention and on my mind about the Miami Dolphins going into this draft. Oh man, it's starting to give me a headache because it's a lot going on. I know the news about the Dolphins is slowing down, but what's happening right now is the Dolphins are getting more and more and more options. And it's scaring me. And we're going to talk about that in about 30 seconds. These options that they're getting. The reason why it scares me, some of them it makes you think about them and they are possibilities. So we got to be ready for those. What's up, Flip Side Fishing? Shout out to you, Fins Up DB, Jose Cruz. What's up? Horsey Head, shout out to you, homie. Chris knows. Hola to you, man. Hola. Been a while. I checked in. Shout out to you, Fins Up. Matthew Jenkins, what's up, man? Chad Morshon, shout out for the donation. Chad said, what up, TD? Let's go, Dolphins. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Got the signature TD Fans Talk shirt on. I don't know why. It just make me feel good when I'm in it, baby. L. Burgess, shout out to you, man. Ronnie Grooms, how you doing? I hope everybody having a good Wednesday, hump day. Man, I've been down in this water like crazy, man. Me and the wife been working out in the evenings. It's been feeling great. TD, what's good, brother? What's up with you, Marcus? Shout out to everybody hitting the chat section, man. I'm going to go ahead and dive right in because this is some important information, and I want us to make sure that we keep our eyes open for because it's going down in Dolphin Nation right now. First and foremost, I know everybody's heard the rumor about Derek Carr, okay? Now, listen. I want y'all to really think about this rumor. This rumor is huge in many ways, okay? All this talk about the Raiders possibly going after Kyler Murray. Man, after doing my research, it's a really good chance that the Raiders actually will end up with Kyler Murray. Okay? And these aren't games, guys. This is real. This is real talk happening out here. Because when you look at Derek Carr, who's with the Raiders right now, last year he was 4-12. Now, y'all know as well as I know, the fans that's on my channel, y'all, we always talk about stats and stuff. So 4-12, we talk about a quarterback who's supposed to change that type of record. You know, he's definitely supposed to change that type of record. You know, Tannehill go 4-2 and it wasn't good enough. So 4-12. And from my understanding, he played the season. But he has the same excuses as Tannehill as a quarterback. And what I mean, his line has been trash, spotty coaching, all the lack of weapons, all kind of stuff, right? But the biggest thing that strikes me with the Raiders, he's on his third year of a $125 million contract, y'all. Who that sound like to y'all? No, hey, JD Diesel, this ain't whether Carr is decent or not. This conversation has nothing to do with whether Carr is decent or not. This conversation is, we talk about a guy who can't bring the franchise to win, and he's on a 5-year, $125 million in his third year. Who does that sound like to y'all? And I'm going to tell you now, we all know who it sounds like. It sounds like a Ryan Tannehill. The quarterback that ain't making the difference. He could be a great player, but he ain't making the difference. He's not making the difference to win games. 4 wins, y'all, 4-12, okay? He's not making a difference, regardless of all the team issues, because that's how we did Tannehill. So, and he's $125 million on a 5-year. That was more than what Tannehill was getting. Tannehill was like 5-year, $96 million. Derek Carr is 5-year, $125 million. Whoa, you can see the writing on the wall. The Raiders actually are serious about this. They're serious about drafting their number 1 pick, and that's where all the rumors are coming from with Carr could end up in Miami if they draft. This is what they're saying. Carr could end up in Miami if the Raiders draft. Literally, if the Raiders draft Kyler Murray. Listen, man, that would be disastrous for us. Why do we want to go into the same situation we just left? JD Diesel said, give me Carr over Tannehill every time. I see what you're saying, though. I hope you're seeing what I'm saying. That's your preference. Oh, we're about to talk about Russell Wilson in that situation, too. But Carr, I don't want to go into the same thing and more money. Same situation we were in and more money. And he had his second highest passer rating at like 98 this year, which ranked 18th. Your second best was ranked 18th. Then yards per completion, Carr was at yards per completion. This is the best of his career was last year, and that was ranked in the 20s. We talk about a quarterback who, once again, doesn't suck in my opinion, but he ain't getting the job done for his team. If a scenario played out like that and they got Kyler Murray and put Carr on the trading block, the Dolphins better not bite. They better not bite. There's no difference from the Fitzpatrick to me. No difference. I don't like that option, but remember, it is an option. And because all this sitting back, now you got to watch all the other teams and what they're doing and how it affect us. Because what the Raiders do can affect our 13th overall pick. All those things make a difference, guys. And moving on from Derek Carr. Moving on from Derek Carr, y'all. The other big news about Dolphins' potential quarterback landing is Russell Wilson. This is real, y'all. It's starting to heat up. It's minuscule right now, but it's starting to heat up. So you know me, I'm like, oh, these are all rumors. It's the usual. And I ignore them. But I do read the articles. I do read the stories. I do listen to the videos just in case. I want to read the validity of it. And when I look at the Seattle situation, it's possible, y'all. Russell Wilson, who won a Super Bowl, but who hasn't done it in several years. It was that rookie situation. Like I keep telling y'all don't want to listen to me. It's that when you got your franchise quarterback on a low contract, you can afford all the weapons you want around him, and you're good. You went to the Super Bowl with the best defense in the league. But as soon as he comes off of that contract, you're probably not even going to be in contention. And what are the Seattle good for lately? Just making the playoffs. And that's typical. But Russell Wilson does impact the team in a way where he doesn't make the mistakes. This is just my analysis. I've never looked at Russell Wilson as the guy who's taking them to the next level. I just always looked at him as somebody who doesn't make the mistake. So the team is much more prosperous with a quarterback that doesn't make as many mistakes. So this is a real option because they may even go after a quarterback. They might actually get a quarterback. And if they do get a quarterback and they're like Russell Wilson at a high salary, it's time to revamp this team sooner than later. We already got some young players. Let's go ahead and revamp now. It is possible. Yeah, Russell Wilson is too expensive. But my whole thing is, when are you going to find your quarterback? But Russell Wilson might be an option is all I'm saying. He's sitting there as an option, and if the Dolphins are really trying to get their guy, he may be an option. I like the approach of get your young rookie and pay him $7 or $8 million a year for the next 4 years. That's what I like. Get everything around him and try to win right away and then make deals. That's what I'm into. But I'm just giving you these options that's out there. All this quarterback situations coming into play. Russell Wilson's team has given the Seattle Seahawks until April 15th to come up with the new deal. And if they don't come up with the new deal, he might even hold out. He wants a new deal now. He's in the contract into next year, but he wants his deal this offseason, like most people requested. So will they get a deal done, or will he be an option and Seattle is forced to say, hey, let's go ahead and move on now and get an asset? It's possible, y'all. That's all I'm trying to say to y'all. It's possible. So the only thing that I don't like about it, I like him as a quarterback for the Dolphins only because he's not going to make the mistake. I don't put too much merit on quarterbacks like everybody else, but he's not going to make the mistake that causes you the game. He's going to be an asset versus a liability, and that's all you need. That is all you need. So I like it from a football standpoint, but where I don't like it is how much it would cost. I mean, you're probably obviously giving away a first round pick and maybe a fifth. That's young assets gone, but you got Russell Wilson, right? But no, that's not it. Now you have to give him a deal or continue to honor the one he has, which he's getting paid, man. So he can take a big chunk of our salary cap, and that would hurt. Y'all remember what I told y'all? We already number one in the NFL, over $30 million in dead cap, which is money that is going against the salary cap for players we don't even have anymore. You add another $27 million or something for a quarterback, you're well into $60 million just for dead cap and a quarterback. And now the rest of your roster is $130 million. And I'm telling you now, we already, listen, I can name 15 players on our roster that probably make up 100. So at the end of the day, we got to stay away from that from a salary cap standpoint. But it's an option if the team wanted to, thin out their cash for it. Now, one thing that may make it possible to not mind thinning out the cash is the simple fact that we got 32 roster openings, y'all. That's a problem. I didn't realize this until today. And I did my research as usual, analyzed the situation. This can be troublesome. This can be very troublesome. I love what we've done so far in the offseason. And it's gotten us to this point. But this point comes with something that nobody's really talking about. And it's important. We have 32 slots on our roster. 32. That's scary, y'all. That's scary. Let me tell y'all why. We only have 7 draft picks this year. So say we draft all 7 picks. That is going to automatically right there say we need 25 more players. I already read an article that says Miami will probably be the number 1 team with players that will go undrafted. That will go undrafted. Look at it, y'all. We drafted 7 players. We're still going to need 25. No, it ain't 32 or 53. There's a 90-man roster. 93. Y'all correct me. Y'all give me the exact number because I think it moved recently. So over 90 players on your squad. Game day, you go in with 53. I thought it was 72. Probably is. I don't even know why I'm in the 90s. I'm tripping. It probably is. Whatever it is, this is what I'm telling you. We got 32 spots available on our roster. 32, y'all. I'm telling you, take away the 7 draft picks, that's 25. It gets scary. And some may say, okay, we get 7, we got 25 left. Maybe we pick up 8 of them in free agency. All right. And we get another 17 undrafted free agents and AAF players or whatever, right? It's not that simple. Here's what's scary about it. It expands on the Dolphins' options. Here's why. And I put it in the title, y'all. I'm scared that we are going to be forced. Hear me out. I am scared that we're going to be forced to go quantity over quality. So y'all follow me on this. I am scared that in the draft, we are going to be forced to go quantity, which is number of players, versus quality. If you draft your player 1 through 7, 1 for every round, you're getting the best quality player that you can. 7 are the best quality players. The best quality player in the first round that you can get, the best one in the second round you can get. 7 quality players. I don't care if it's in the 7th round. This is the best quality I can find in the 7th round that I believe in. That's who I got. That's quality. But I'm scared that we're not going to be able to get the best quality because of all the roster gaps. I can see after the 2nd round, the Dolphins taking a 3rd round pick and saying, let me get 2 5ths. Taking a 4th round pick and saying, let me get a 5th and a 6th. Just to expand their expand their picks. And it's kind of scary. It's like, do you go the 1 per round route and get the best quality you can? I got a 3rd round quality versus 2/5 for that 3rd. If that makes sense, guys. So what will we do? Are we just going to stay and get the best player we can? Or are we literally going to scrap some of these draft picks and multiply them to get more? Because we got 32 spots available. 32. We got to fill it. We have to fill them. You say 53 is all that matters. No, it's not all that matters. Pete, and not all people, Pete got to be saying that. 53 ain't all that matter, Pete. You know how many players come out of the trenches of being that 65th player on the roster that ends up being a great slot receiver that sticks around and makes the 53? So all those other players matter because you're hoping. You're literally hoping out of the other 40 players, and I think it is 90 or 93. I think I was right. Y'all confused me now, 72 and stuff. But out of those other 40 players, you're trying to find out of those 40 players 2 or 3 guys that say, hey, they belong on this 53. That's where it matters. They matter a lot. That's basically another 40 players where you're developing and saying, we done turned this guy into that guy. All right, go ahead, move him up. Get off this practice squad. Let's go. That's what it's about. Those picks are important. It's just that this year we're going to have a lot of them. A lot of them. The article said the Dolphins could be number 1 in the NFL going into the season with 33%, a third of the team being undrafted free agents. I mean, undrafted rookies, y'all. Undrafted rookies. A third of your team being undrafted rookies. I ain't say rookies. I ain't say your draft picks. They said a third of the team come opening day could be undrafted rookies. It's getting interesting, guys. There's so many directions and so many options that the Dolphins can take that it really does leave you with the head scratcher to say it's a great feeling to have options, but it has to be nerve-wracking to be in the front office to make sure that you make the right one because you got so many. Because you have so many. And I know that they're working like crazy right now trying to figure out for the next few weeks what is that best option. Like right now they're sitting here like, okay, if Haskins slide to us, do we take him? Please make sure those guys are out there still talking to people about him, his relatives, his middle school football team. What did they think about his character? All of that. And any slip up, we need to know about that stock change. Is Locke going to be available because all the other quarterbacks are gone? Do we go that way? Do we say screw it all and go after a Russell Wilson if they over there playing around? Do we mess it up and go with more of the same in a Carr? Do we stick to the plan and go get the defensive tackle we want in the first round, or the linebacker we want in the first round at 13? Wait, do we move up, get rid of our first round pick and give up a 4th or something like that just to move up to 8 or 7 or something and go after our guy? Do we sit back and trade out of the first round or later in the first round and get 2 picks? Do we just flip all our picks? Hey, I'll give you this first round if you give me 2 seconds and a 4th or something like that. I don't know. Or 2 seconds and a 3rd. I'll swap out of the second round if you give me 2/3. Or are we about to flip everything? I got a good feeling we're not leaving the draft with 7 picks. I have a very good feeling that we are not going to end the 2019 draft with 7 picks made. I got a great feeling about that. We are not going to just pick 7 players. I think the Dolphins are going to find a way to pick about 12 players. But at what cost? Are we digging as low as our second round pick to flip into 2 4s, taking one of those 4s and getting a 5 and a 6? I mean, it's so many options. Pete, you tripping, man. I trade all 7 for the Cardinals and take Murray. And what if Murray sucks in the NFL game? You mean to tell me you gave away your entire draft? The entire draft class that you're stuck with for 4 years, one player? What if he sucks? He might be great. He might be the next Dan Marino, Tom Brady. But what if he does suck? If Murray is your guy, and I'm talking to the Dolphins, if Murray is your guy, then you go get him. I mean, I ain't talking about no crazy Pete talk, give up all 7. But you give up your first round pick to move up, and you see if they'll take a second with it. Get your guy, if he's your guy. And I keep on telling y'all, whatever Flores and those guys go with, I'm all behind because I got to sit back and evaluate if it works so I can say good call or bad call. I just give my opinion early on. Doesn't mean it's going to be right or it's going to turn out that way. Never said Murray was going to be good. Never said he was going to be bad. But I am saying that we don't know. And he could be good and he could be bad in the NFL game. But if he's our guy, then we go get him. But do y'all see all these options? Too many options for the Dolphins, man, because it's nerve-wracking. What do you do? What approach do you take? I know we have a game plan and a systematic game plan. We probably got a few quarterbacks. If they're available at 13, we take them, but the odds are none of them will be available. If this guy slides all the way to 8, which he shouldn't, then we trade up to get him because we're willing to draft an 8th round because we ain't got to give up as much as a number 1. They have a plan in place and contingencies. But now you're getting these outside things like David Carr, the Russell Wilsons, the Rosens, the trade out of first or trade down for more assets. You get all these options. I'm one who's in favor of trade up twice. That's what I'm in favor of. Somehow getting in the first round twice and the second round twice and calling your draft done if you have to. I'm one of those. Because it's like I keep on telling y'all, there is too much defensive talent in this draft for you not to get a few options, get a few pieces of fruit off the tree. A few pieces. Yeah, this tree, man, this harvest is so ripe and juicy and sweet. It's just like, man, you can't just go into this, let me take my one. Man, you want to get at least a few. You have to. I'm talking about first 2 round quality. The first 2 rounds has some quality in it. Great quality. This ain't that draft where you get to the 21st pick and now you automatically into, all right, we're going to try this guy out. No, you can be deep in the second round and be like, that's our guy right there. We want him. On the defensive end of the ball, this is the draft. We know more offenses coming next year. I want a few of those pieces, man. I need a few of those. That would be beautiful. Will it happen? Not likely, because there's too many options we have going the other way of just picking somebody or moving up. The only way we get two picks in the first round is if we take our first round pick and move out in the 20s. Get 2 20s or something. I don't know. But that's what's going on, man. I know it got your head like, man, nobody knows what we're going to do. Everybody's guessing. Everybody's speculating. All this talk about this is what the Dolphins are going to do and this and that. Nobody knows. Front office giving signs of, they talking about all this stuff about, you got to have the right quarterback. They just keep talking quarterback, quarterback, quarterback. But then you see the subtle little things from interviews like with Flores. You got to have your quarterback. He's going to be that center, that staple. And then he goes on to say, we could draft a quarterback this year or next year or next year. Or we could go and get that defensive tackle we like in the first round. This is what he said, y'all. He started out by saying, if we see the quarterback we want and he's there in the first round, that's who we're going to get if we can get him. But we might also go get that defensive tackle that we definitely want. I mean, it might even be that linebacker we want or that cornerback. I mean, it might even be a running back. Who knows? But defensive tackle is up there at the top of his mouth. That's the second thing come out of his mouth versus quarterback. But every team has to talk quarterback right now. Y'all, if y'all didn't know that about the NFL before the draft, as many teams that can talk quarterback will talk quarterback. Let me tell y'all why. Look at Seattle, for instance. Seattle has no need to talk quarterback. But you know why the rumors coming out about his contract? It ain't rumors. The organization leaking that stuff. Because they want to get into quarterback talk. They may not even have any intention on moving Russell Wilson. But if we can get in this conversation, people can see the storyline of, hey, we do got to pay him. But he's saying if you don't pay him by the 15th, he could end up on other teams. Let that get out there. Because somebody might just call and say, I got 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick for Russell Wilson right now. Or 3 first-round picks. You might literally just get that team that does that. And this is why everybody talks quarterback. In Seattle, it would be a blockbuster trade. The Seattle just traded Russell Wilson. In return, they get 2 or 3 first-round picks. Because, yeah, you trade Russell Wilson for 3 first-round picks. Yeah, you do, for all y'all who don't know that. Yes, you do. Definitely. So you're going to see as many teams as possible get in this conversation, even if they don't belong. Y'all don't even realize the Patriots are in this conversation. Nobody's talking about that either. And let me, you know what? I almost forgot. The Dolphins have 7 picks in 2019 draft, y'all. The Patriots, how many picks do you think the Patriots have in the first 3 rounds? The first 3 rounds of this year, how many picks you think the Patriots got? You're right, Chris. They got 6 picks. 6 picks in this year's first 3 rounds. How do you have the Super Bowl winning team back to back to back, not even great players all the time? You always end up with terrible draft position, and you still figure out how to have 6. No, it's 6, Roadrunner. It is 6, confirmed. You end up having 6. 6 picks in the first 3 rounds. Do you see why they never care? Why they don't care about keeping great players? And if you get that big, we'll trade you for more assets for the future years because we're going to make your replacement. If you don't realize they have the winning formula, you're delusional. It's not just on the field. It's off the field. It's in the front office. It's in the scouting. It's in the general manager part where they're managing these picks and money. They have 6 picks in the first 3 rounds. You can't tell me they can't flip those into 2 1s, 2 2s, and a 3rd. You cannot tell me they can't. I mean, I might even be able to go out on a limb. They might be so good at it, they can get 2 1s and 3 2s out of that. And just eliminate 1 pick. I don't know. But do you see that? 6. And here we are below the poverty level when it comes to teams. And we only got 3. And people get mad. I hate when I hear that quote, the rich get richer like it's a bad thing. No, they being smart. They using their brains and not their emotions in the decisions that they make. Pats rarely trade up, though. Why do they need to? They got the winning formula. Oh, we got a number 2 pick overall? Well, let's trade out of the number 2 and give me 2 first rounds, like 28 and 29. Give me the 28th and 29th pick if you got it for the number 2 overall. Pats will be in the top 10 and be like, ooh, no, I don't want that. Not unless it's going to be a defensive tackle or something. But I don't want that. You can ship that off. I don't care how many the Cowboys got, Bree. I mean, you can tell me, though. You can tell me. But, guys, y'all are big, man, the Patriots are playing a quarterback, too. Why not bring in, if the Patriots want to bring in a Kyler Murray? You're Kyler Murray. This is Tom Brady. We have no quarterback controversy. If we want to sit him on the bench for the next 4 years until Tom Brady's gone, we will. And he going to sit there and shut up and do it, too. They can get their quarterback anytime without having a quarterback controversy. I don't care how good the quarterback is coming out. Number 1 overall pick. You're only going to cost us $7 million. The $7 million that Brady's saving us, really. I don't know, $8 million, $9 million, depending on where you're drafted in the first round. They're huge players in this as well, y'all. They're huge players in this. And I can't wait. This is actually starting to steer me towards the opposite way. Now I want to see if Flores is adopting that type of mentality and instilling it in Greer. Because y'all might be surprised. I can tell y'all now, Miami is on the clock at number 13. Do you know how many people will be pissed? And I would be sitting back, be like, I see what they doing. I know what they doing. It ain't bad. People need to calm down. But you know how many people would be pissed? Miami on the clock. A minute later, we got breaking news. The Miami Dolphins just traded the 13th overall pick to whoever. In return, they will be getting the 22nd overall pick plus a second round pick at 35 or something like that. I don't know. And a backup offensive guard named this and that or whatever from this team. I wouldn't be surprised. People would lose their mind like, what are we doing? We go to 20. People would be losing their mind. And I'll be sitting there like, we got more assets because we need more picks to fill the roster. And we're going to get more quality this way. More quality. Then on top of it, we bring in a guard as well or something like that. It's possible, man. It's possible. Xavier Howard, second round for 2 firsts. You think Xavier Howard worth the first round pick? I'm curious, y'all. Y'all tell me in the comment section. You think Xavier Howard is worth 1 first round pick? And you're talking about Xavier Howard and the second round pick for 2 firsts. So you think Xavier Howard is worth a first round pick and enough to change a second round to another first? That's what you're saying. You think Xavier Howard is worth a first round pick plus changing a second to a first. Late maybe 28 to 32. If we traded Xavier Howard right now, we'd be lucky to get a second round pick. We'd be lucky to get a second round pick. Because y'all got to stop doing this. Stop relating money with contract. Stop relating money with contract. Xavier Howard is on an expiring contract. What that means is if we traded somebody for him, they have to give us not only the picks, but now they have to give him a deal. They have to give him a deal. They have to say, I want you so bad that, first of all, I'm going to pay you your $16 million a year, and I'm going to give away a first round pick and another first round, and I'm going to move back to the second. Paying them too? You'd be lucky if you get a second, mid-second, right now for Xavier Howard. You'd be lucky. Nobody's going to give you a first-round pick for Xavier Howard. who's played half of the games in his career, who's made one Pro Bowl solely off of interceptions. Nobody's giving you a first-round pick for that. Jags would, and that's why they're the Jags. If you're lucky, you get a mid-second round. A mid-second round pick. It'll be robbery if you get a mid-second round and replace a 6th round, swap it for a 5th. That'd be robbery. We be robbing somebody. If we were to get the first round pick that you're saying, oh my gosh, we did rob somebody. I bet the Browns would. No, they wouldn't, because they got to slow down on their spending now. You think they got another $16 million to give a corner? They wouldn't. They have to go in the draft. They have to go get them small contracts now that's guaranteed for 4 years and with good young talent. They have to. If they had a picks, because what did Odell Beckham cost? I forgot already. What did they give up for Odell? Y'all let me know if you remember. Y'all let me know if you remember what they gave up for Odell Beckham, man. I'll be right back. A long TD. First, third, Peppers. I'm new. Shout out to you, Julian, for subscribing to the channel. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, guys. 17 mil a year, all I know. Well, that's the contract. That's the contract. They paying them 17 mil, and they gave away a first round, a third, and Peppers. Let me ask y'all this. From a star, see, it ain't just, it's not just the player ability, but it's also star, selling tickets. Let's take an Odell Beckham and an Xavier Howard. If Odell is a 10 from value to a franchise, if Odell is a 10, what is Xavier Howard? Y'all let me know. 6 or 7, 5.5. Anybody else? 6. That's where I am. I'm thinking of 6. 6, 7. So, who won that deal? Giants or Browns? Second this year, first next year. X is an 8. He needs one more year approved. Oh boy. Browns won that deal. Giants in the long run. I say the Giants won the deal. The Giants get Peppers, a player, to fill a roster to make up for it. They get a first-round pick on a player who is, let's be fair, off the field risk. I don't think anybody debates that. I don't think anything's going to happen with Odell Beckham off the field, but based off of his behaviors, he's a risk that any day the headlines, oh my gosh, are we about to lose this guy? Out of all people, are you serious? Did this really happen, go down with him? Not saying it will happen, and Lord knows I don't want it to. He's a risk. One of the highest paid. Yeah, see, Breon going off of tickets and ratings. I get all of that. But we talk about teams that have been fighting for tickets and ratings and keep losing. This is a new era. And I know what you're saying from a business standpoint, Bree. From a business standpoint, ain't no question. If you got Odell on the roster, but in New York, I don't see it anymore for the simple reason. I know you had Saquon Barkley, but people were getting tired of it. It wasn't very appealing anymore. We got AB, not Antonio Brown. I just read AB. We got Beckham, but it wasn't appealing. It's losing some of its flair. It's losing some of its flair. I think the Browns won this trade. They got a first-round pick. They got a third-round pick that they can easily flip. Third round, second, to me, second and third round picks are very valuable, especially third round picks. Let me see what they're talking about. Oh, Lord. Let me block that person, Bree. All right, I took care of him. But yeah, man, I really think the Browns won that deal, though. I really do think that they won that deal on the trade. But my whole point in all this is, if you look at what they got for Odell Beckham, you cannot even closely say that Xavier Howard is worth half of that. You can't. Off rip, get rid of Peppers in the third off rip. And then the first, let's come on now. You can give me a better value than that. You see what I mean? So it's still making prime time. Look at my Cowboys, 2 to 3 playoff appearances in 20 years. LOL, still making prime time. You know why, Bree? Because your 2 to 3 playoff appearances, the reason why the Cowboys always make prime time, because they're always sorely competitive. And what I mean by that is, I don't know another franchise that consistently goes between 3 records: 8-8, 9-7, 10-6. I don't know any franchise that consistently goes between those 3 records and always leave people on the edge of their seat. Oh, we just didn't get in. That's why they're still relevant. Because it's just like gambling. People who have gambling addictions, and there are a lot of people just going to a casino. People be in the casino for 3 days without leaving sometimes. So them same people, I almost won. I got the bonus, but it didn't land on the last one. Man, almost. Man, I was up by $1,000, and you know what? That one hand I put it all on, I lost it all. Whatever way it comes. That's what the Cowboys do. They are sorely competitive every year. Every year. 8-8, not playoffs. 9-7, you make it to the playoffs 1 out of every 6 times. And 10 out of 6. And sometimes miss the playoff on that. Just to go to a wild card like they always do and lose. Finally, they win one. Okay. Finally. Will they add on it? Maybe. Maybe not. Matter of fact, if Russell Wilson end up not getting this contract, it's probably because of the Cowboys. It's probably because of the Cowboys. Period, man. Are you in a hospital? Yeah, I'm in the little visitor room thing they have here. They got a full kitchen and all of that, man. It's a pretty nice hospital, man. Yeah, that's where I am. No, I'm just kidding. For those of y'all who believe me, I was coming to Nikati Ghoul asking that question. Browns got the better deal, Tony. I just don't see it. A player? You know what? I even go out on a limb to say you just added another receiver. Let me ask you a question. You got Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham. Do you get better if you add a Thielen? Adam Thielen? Do you get better if you got all 3 of them? Matter of fact, add Antonio Brown too. You got 4 of them now. Do you get better? Let's put 5. You know, people do 5 wideouts. If you got 5 of the best receivers on the team, do you get better? Do you get better? See, some people say, yeah, you get better. You got 5 of the best. But think about it. The more of them you add in that position, tell me what position on the Browns is actually lacking thereof or have zero depth. It's like that Miami Dolphins situation, just in a different way. It's a totally different way. You got all these weapons on the field. Oh my gosh, our left tackle just went down and he was a 10 out of 10. Well, put the replacement in. The problem is the replacement is like a 2 out of 10. You ain't got no 6 out of 10, 8 out of 10 depth. That's always the problem with teams like this. There is only one team that I've seen that had everything stacked, and that's because everybody almost took pay cuts. Not only did they take pay cuts, some of them even elected to basically stay with the team for less than half of what they were getting. And that was the Eagles the year they won it. They had a roster. If the starter went out, the backup was still good. The Browns ain't got no depth. You can have all the weapons you want around you. Let that left tackle and that right guard go out. Or that center and that left tackle. Or the center and the left guard, or the center and the right guard, and the middle is just wide open. See what happens. They're going to send all the pressure up the middle and one-on-one on the outside, and your quarterback going to change from having 5 seconds to throw the ball to 2 seconds to throw the ball. Beckham going to start getting aggravated. Jarvis Landry, you know he going to get aggravated. They halfway through their route, and they quarterback on the ground. Here comes the frustration. Everybody going to be watching the Browns, Bree. Everybody, I think they're going to have great success early on. Early on, I think they're going to have great success. Then if they make it to the playoffs, I just personally feel like they're going to be another one of those teams. Got all those weapons, but in the playoffs, why are they rendered useless? Kansas City Chiefs. Anyway, shout out to you, Julian Monaco, for the donation. Julian said Murray or Tagovailoa, if available. I don't know how to say that. Tagovailoa, or something. I don't know how to say it. Murray or Tagovailoa, whatever, if available. If available, at 13. If available, though. That's going to be tough. ODBJ will get hurt again, so it will not matter. And that's another thing. That's what used to kill me with y'all wanting to keep Landry or Ajayi Sue. That's what used to kill me, y'all. Do y'all know last year we had to go through like 2 defensive tackles, good defensive tackles, and then we just trash at the position? If we kept Sue, we could only afford 1. And what if that one go down? Then it's even worse. Landry. If we kept Landry on the roster, what if Landry got hurt last year? He makes up for Grant and Wilson's injury early, though. I mean, let's be fair. Isn't that the reason we were able to get Amendola and what's his name? Wilson? That's the only reason we were able to get those two, because we let Landry go. And like I said, and I'm going to back this up again. I don't care how many people have been watching Jarvis Landry highlights later and feeling it's like he's a beast. But I'm going to say this once again. What Albert Wilson gave the Miami Dolphins in his time this year was much more effective than Landry gave us in a year. Fact. Much more effective. Much more effective. Because most of he has much more burst than Landry, much greater speed than Landry. And he is an open field threat. I keep on going back to the fact that Landry had 11 touchdowns his last season with us, and all 11 were in the end zone, in the red zone. Oh, he's a red zone threat. Go do your research. 9 of the 11 plays were literally pick plays. The other 2, he was literally wide open, waiting on it and catching it. Literally. So don't tell me, oh, he's just a red zone threat. He had 0 touchdowns outside of the red zone. Short yardage. Period, man. Landry wasn't housing anything at all. Y'all know what I'm talking about when Landry caught that ball coming across the middle and it looked like he got 6 feet separation. Y'all know how many times, now in the past, he's had some long touchdowns, okay? But y'all know how many times he's been running and he got his man beat by 6 feet, but you still don't know, and you know ain't nobody in front of him for 50 yards for the touchdown, but you still sitting there like, oh, will he catch him? Will he catch him? Yeah, he got it. Y'all know how many times we done did that? You done watched the same games as me. He done caught it across the middle, made a move. He headed to the goalpost. And you're like, oh, can he get there? Will he get there? And he just running as fast as he can. And the defender closing ground as they go. Closing ground. And he just gets there. And Albert Wilson putting them Jets on, turning around, high-fiving Grant, chilling, moonwalking in the end zone. Total different speed. Albert Wilson was catching all kind of balls. I don't care what nobody say. Yes, he's not a bigger name, but he was more impactful to the Dolphins offense with all our issues than Jarvis Landry ever was. Than he ever was. That's why I want to see Wilson get out of this injury. I'll be honest with you and tell you, I like Wilson over Grant. Some of y'all may not like that. I like Wilson over Grant. In the slot. I think they need to just put Albert Wilson in that slot anyway and say, this yours. Own it. Own it. Our wide receivers are actually pretty good. That's the beauty of our team. We good on the wide receivers. People think you need the AB or the Odell Beckham names and all of this and that. We good at the receiver position. We good. We're good. We have a good core. We have a good core. People argue, but do they really have a number one? Don't listen to all of that. The Patriots never had a number one. They don't have it. I'm saying, like, as of late, Randy Moss, we know what he was. But y'all know what I mean. Period, man. Wilson run better routes. Wilson just have the change of direction and agility and body shiftiness better than all of them. By far. By far. I hope this injury, and oh my gosh, it just reminds me of who was it? What's his name again? The backup quarterback who is just what's his name? Gosh, how can I forget his name? Literally, he was just our backup. Gosh, I'm really tripping. I don't know why my mouth keep on saying Matt Moore, and I know it's not Matt Moore. Brock Osweiler, yes, gosh, there's a reason I forgot his name. But anyway, that remind me of that play, man, because Wilson had to literally reach back for that ball, and when he went down, man, the guy clipped. And matter of fact, that was going to be a touchdown play. He caught the ball across the middle. It was going to be a touchdown. The guy literally caught him by the tip of his finger. The tip of his finger. I don't know if it was that one or the one the guy kicked him and the refs never called it. It was one of them, but he literally got hurt. No, Gronk wasn't the number one receiver, man. I know he got targets and was big time, but the Patriots don't have a number one receiver. They got a who open. Who is this going to based off of the defense? Brock Osweiler, man. He was the reason Albert Wilson got hurt. If that ball was thrown where it needed to be, led on the run, it would have been a touchdown. Go back and look at the play he got hurt. If it was on the run, it would have been a touchdown. But you know what? He threw it behind him. He still made the catch, had to slow down, turn around, and just got clipped. And that little clip caused his injury. Out for the season. Brock Osweiler was a mistake. Big mistake, man. Stills led the league in yardage per completion. Yeah. See, we got receivers, man. That's why it was Kenny Stills is going to be an asset. They probably whoever man. That's probably why they brought in Fitzpatrick. That's probably why they brought in Fitzpatrick. Air it out, homie. Get Kenny Stills 1,000 yards. Get Devontae Parker 1,000 yards. Get Grant 1,000 yards if you can. Get Albert Wilson 1,000 yards if you can. If we can trade two of them, that'll be sweet. Make them 1,000 yards receivers. Do you know what two of those guys would net us next offseason? You know what? How many assets that would be? Let Devontae Parker have a breakout year and get 1,000 yards. I wouldn't be surprised if Miami don't still trade him next offseason. Thank you for getting your stock up. Can we get a third, please? Appreciate it. Something like that. Something like that, man. It's a lot, man. Oh, so you believe in Parker now? No. I believe in Flores if Parker works out. If Parker works out, I believe in the coaching staff. That's who I believe in. One more year of bubble screens and terrible third down plays. Nah, fam. Man, I done went past. I'm about at my hour, man. I'm about to get out of here, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Hey, man. Yeah. All right, bye-bye. I'm about to get out of here soon, guys, man. I done reached my hour. We lost last year because of death. I would agree with that, Frank. We don't know. We don't know because we never got there. But I'm a strong person that's in agreement with you. I have a strong agreement with you, man. That last year was just crumbled due to injuries and the depth that we didn't have. We could have made the playoffs last year. We definitely could have made the playoffs, man. I really do believe it. Parker has all the tools to be a dog. Hey, Flores, bring them tools out. That's what we're looking for, man. The Patriots don't need a number one wide receiver. They have something we don't have. They have a franchise quarterback. Y'all think Tom Brady a franchise quarterback, huh? Hold on, y'all. Hello? Hello? Yeah. I can't hear you. You're breaking up bad. Hello? One moment, y'all. Let me call back real quick. We're going to talk about this Tom Brady being a franchise quarterback, man. And define franchise quarterback, by the way, if you can. Poland, shout out, man. What's up, Raw Hunter? I got you, Bree. Please shout out Fagu. He has cancer. Please shout out Faye Gut. He has cancer. Shout out Faye Gut. If that's how you pronounce it, man. We ain't worried about cancer. We beat it around here, man. That's what it's about. My homeboy is friends with Parker, and he had definitely sabotaging Parker because of some issues Parker had with the wide receiver coach. Do you speak Polish? No, I don't speak Polish. Tom Brady is a system QB. That's all I was gonna argue. That's all I was gonna argue. See, y'all talk about franchise QB. He's a system QB. He is a system QB. Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick done said it. Just not the best. Just not the best athlete, but he works hard. He knows the system and he's learned it to a perfection. He's a system QB, man. But y'all call it a franchise QB. It could be a lot of really good system QBs in this league. Literally, I think we got 10 great system QBs in the league right now. The problem is we give them this media man-made phrase of franchise quarterback responsibilities. And what that comes with, see, we categorize franchise quarterback with stuff that don't even exist. We act like Tom Brady threw the ball, caught the ball, and ran it in for the touchdown. We act like Tom Brady hiked the ball, handed it off, did a juke move, ran somebody over, and ran into the touchdown. We act like Tom Brady hiked the ball, went to play right guard, blocked that man that was coming on the blitz and everything. That's what we act like Tom Brady did. So since Tom Brady does all of those things, we look at every other quarterback, we not winning. Why we ain't winning? Because the right guard sucked because he can't block worth nothing. No, the quarterback should have made up for that. See, that's what we keep on thinking that a franchise QB is. Somebody to make up for everybody else's downfalls. When are we going to come to the realization that everything around Tom Brady is A100? When are we going to come to the realization that the coaches make sure that everything around Tom Brady is A100? The left tackle ain't getting beat. The right guard ain't getting pushed back. The tight end ain't getting bullied at the line of scrimmage. The receivers ain't dropping balls. The receivers ain't falling to the ground on bump and run. The running back ain't missing picking up the blitz. When are we going to realize this? He is a system QB doing his job, just not being the reason they lose. One play for 30 yards down the field, incompletion. All he did is receive the ball and threw it the right way. That's all he did. He didn't block. He didn't run a route. He didn't catch. He didn't run after the catch. He didn't do none of those things. All he did was his job, but people make that seem like franchise. That's what a franchise quarterback is. No, y'all definition of a franchise quarterback is misguided because there are a lot of quarterbacks doing exactly what Tom Brady's doing. The only difference is the rest of Tom Brady's team is doing their job, and the rest of these other guys' team, they got too many problems. The right guard ain't even give me time for that to happen. The wide receiver fell at the line of scrimmage, and that was my hot route. The ball was right in his hand, and he dropped it. That's all I'm saying, man. So I have a question, TD. If Tom Brady was our quarterback last year, do we have the playoffs? Oh, wait, make the playoffs? If yes, how is he a system QB? You're kind of like answering it already. First of all, if he was our quarterback last year, yes, we would make the play. Are you saying when Tannehill went down or just period? That's what I want to know. And I'm going to act like you're saying period. I'm going to act like you're saying period, okay? If Tom Brady was our quarterback period last year, the same thing might have happened. That's what I'm trying to get through to y'all. Tom Brady wasn't going to stop Josh Sitton from going down. Tom Brady wasn't going to stop Kilgore from going down. Tom Brady wasn't going to stop teams from sending pressure up the middle. Tom Brady might have got hurt last year. And I don't know why people think that's far-fetched when he's one of the least hit quarterbacks in the NFL. But what if his O-line warrants him being the most hit quarterback in the NFL? He might have went down. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If Tannehill was here and he went down and Tom Brady backed him up, we would have made the playoffs if Brady would have stayed healthy. Because you saw what Osweiler kept doing. Couldn't throw to a wide open man past 15 yards all season. Underthrow. Throwing behind people. Overthrow. That wouldn't have happened with Brady. Because Brady would have fit in the system we had. But he still wouldn't have had the team around him to do anything major, anything great. So we were still depleted on the O-line and the D-line. He would have had to have shootouts all day. And now his weapons keep changing up. Albert Wilson's gone. Kenny Stills even missed games. Y'all don't forget that. Devontae Parker, I don't think we had one receiver that played every game. No, I don't think we did. I think Amendola missed the game, maybe. He may have been the only one to play them all, or he missed one. Because I remember he got banged up a few times, but he came back in the game. But almost every receiver was out at some point. He came, man. The truth is we don't know what we don't know. But at the end of the day, guys, Tom Brady fits in what the Patriots do. Why would he want to go anywhere else? He knows the system. Now he teaches the system. He runs the system. He changes things out of the system because it's the system he knows. He's great at that system and teaching people how to do their job in that system. No, we don't go to the Super Bowl because we had more problems than the Patriots. All these injuries. You think Jesse Davis was going to get us to the Super Bowl? No pun intended. Even Tunsil, didn't his replacement have to come in a few times? I digress, man. I digress. This TD Fans Talk, y'all. I'm glad to get some time to spend with y'all today, man. But y'all look out for that Derek Carr, that Russell Wilson situation. Haskins and Locke falling to us possibly. 32 spots on the roster need to be filled. We talked about all that, man. All that, man. This TD Fans Talk, dang, show is over. Yeah, it's over, man. I don't want to bore y'all with just going in circles. I get what I can, and then we chop it up for a little, because this is the time where you're going to hear a lot of rumors, a lot of false stuff, a lot of stuff that you need to pay attention to. But it's that moment where this is the dullest part of the season. I'm going to tell y'all now. It's usually the 2 weeks before the draft. It's usually the dullest part because you hear all these things where you already got all the information you need, and now it's just a waiting game unless some major news happen. Now it's the drama time. Derek Carr posting on Twitter, I see what y'all doing. That's what this is. The little small stuff, the little read through this, read through that. So at the end of the day, man, I'll give it to y'all when I have it, things that I feel is important, but I ain't going to bore y'all to death, all right? This TD Fans Talk, man. Love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in today, man. It was fun. Peace out, bro. Shout out to you, Terrence. Always watch the videos after and always hit that like. Appreciate you, man. You for hitting the like button, man. Shout out to everybody, man. This TD Fans Talk. Love y'all. Peace, y'all. Oh, yeah. Also, let's get to 4,000 subscribers, y'all. We're about 120 away, if I'm not mistaken. We can hit that, man. So y'all help me share the videos. Let your friends and family members know about TD Fans Talk if they're Dolphin fans. But anyway, guys, I'm out. Love y'all. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.